Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today is Saturday, September 20th, and tonight I'm bringing you a little mini grocery haul. It is Saturday, September 20th in the evening right now, and this is about the extent of what I can buy right now because I don't get paid again until next Thursday. So these items here that I picked up tonight are what I could afford to pick up based off of my last paycheck, which was over a week ago. So I'm picking up these few things right now, and then the rest of my bi-weekly grocery haul are things I'll buy later in the week. So I'm just going to show you what I picked up tonight for right now. For those of you that are new here, welcome. My name is Janice. I live and work in Manitoba, Canada. I work at a grocery store chain called Sobeys, and some of the items I picked up, I do some of my shopping at Sobeys, and I do some of my shopping at Real Canadian Superstore. These items that I bought tonight, most of them were from Sobeys at my work. And I will tell you, other than the ground beef that you see there, I bought that because it's on sale this week. But the rest of these items, every single one of them, I bought because there were Scene Plus points attached to them. I looked on my Sobeys app to see what items I had offers on. And there were several. And there's a few things I did not get, but almost all of these items, save for the ground beef, had Scene Plus points offers on them. So the bananas were 20 points for every $1 spent. The Compliments Party Mix, which is the blue bag, that was 75 points for the 300 gram bag. The Compliments brand of eggs, the 30 pack, was 180 points. And the deli salad, which is in front of the bananas, that was 180 points as well. The Villaggio buns, which are to the right of the eggs, that was 75 points, and the no-name brand bread was 40 points. So let me show you what I got. Try and go over my receipt here to get the amounts for you. The bananas how much did I spend on the bananas? They were $2.24. The deli salad this is a potato and egg salad. It was $7.29. And the lean ground beef is on sale right now. I do not have a points offer on it, but it's on for $4.99 a pound. You know, a year or so ago, a good sale price would have been $3.99 a pound. So unfortunately, this is inflation here. But I grabbed two packages, $13.31 and $13.66, $4.99 a pound. So at $4.99 a pound, you can tell that obviously it's definitely not 3 pounds per package, but like maybe 2.5 pounds, give or take. I haven't really looked at the total weight of the package and done the calculations yet to see how much, but you can tell $4.99 a pound. Obviously, there's not 3 pounds in there, but 2.5-ish, give or take. Now, bear in mind, too, if you're new to my channel, I will also tell you that as a Sobeys employee, I do get a small staff discount of 10% off my first $150 spent every week. So any prices that I'm giving you are before my staff discount as well. No-name brand bread, no-name is Superstore, I guess, but Compliments is the Sobeys or Safeway, basically their version of no-name brand or store brand. So I grabbed one loaf of white bread. I like that for my sandwiches. It's $2.49. And then a 30 pack of the eggs. These are large eggs and they were $10.49. And again, remember, these are all before my discount. The Villaggio buns were 2 for $7 or $3.50 each. So here is the breakdown of the points. There is and then the party mix, as I said, was the blue bag in the back. That is $4.29. So there is the 75 points on the party mix. I got 4 paper bags. I really only needed 3 to carry everything home, but we have parrots in this house, which are surprisingly quiet tonight. That's probably because it's almost 10 o'clock at night and they've gone to sleep, thankfully, because normally they're pretty noisy in the background and some of my viewers don't love the background noise. So I brought 4 bags home because that's what we line the bird cages with, and tomorrow is cage cleaning day. So I earned 180 points on the eggs, as I said. The bananas, the points on that are at the bottom of the receipt. There's the ground beef, the deli salad, that's 180 points. There's the points on the buns and the points on the bread. My staff discount was $5.83, and there's the points for the bananas because it was based on how many dollars I spent. So $5.83 for a staff discount. So I spent $53.80 after tax. So I had 29,328 Scene Plus points going into this. I earned 590 points, which is $5.90 worth of points. So when those hit my account, which will take about 24 to 48 hours, I will be sitting at 29,918 Scene Plus points, which means I'm still be at the $290 mark of Scene Plus points, but I'll only be 82 points away from having $300 of Scene Plus points saved up. So not bad. I'm quite pleased with that. And then I stopped in at Superstore afterwards, and all I got there were some apples. I grabbed, these were 97 cents a pound. This was the cheapest ones that I could see. They had a bin of them over there, and they were, which kind were they? I wrote this down. They were Gala Orchard Run, 97 cents a pound. That is the only thing I picked up at Superstore tonight. No points on it at all, but I just wanted to get some fruit in the house. This was $2.03 for those. And no points earned on that, I don't believe. No, there was no points. I had no points offers on apples or anything like that. So I'm sitting currently at 363,025 PC Optimum points, or $363 in points. But with both Scene Plus and PC Optimum, you can only redeem in increments of $10. So I'm sitting still at the $290 mark of Scene points and $360 of PC Optimum points. So that's it for tonight. I'm going to pause you here, and the next clip you will see is going to be the rest of my bi-weekly grocery haul. So stay tuned for part 2. Today is Sunday, September 21st. I know I said I wouldn't be buying much else or anything else much really until later this coming week, but I picked these things up tonight. I've been talking in my videos about Christmas isn't that far away, and look at what's back in the stores. Eggnog is back. So I was serving customers tonight and saw that people were buying eggnog, and I thought I'm going to get myself a 1 liter of that. That is $3.69. And then I made a crock pot of chili this afternoon, and to do that I used 2 cans of chili style tomatoes, and I noticed on my Sobeys app that the Aylmer cans of tomatoes of various types of this size, if you bought 2 of them, you would earn 120 points. And since I used 2 cans of the chili style tomatoes in my chili, I grabbed 2 more to replenish, and they are actually on sale right now, 2 for $5. So here we go. I got 2 for $5. I earned 120 points, $3.69 for the eggnog. Staff discount was 87 cents. I went into this with a balance of 29,909. Let's try this again. 29,918 Scene Plus points. I earned 120, so you can do the math. When those 120 points hit my account in 24 to 48 hours, I will officially be at the $300 mark of Scene Plus points. So that is what I picked up tonight. It cost me $7.82 after my staff discount. Okay, today is Monday, September 22nd. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I want to just show you a few things I picked up after work tonight at Sobeys. I was not going to buy anything more in the way of groceries, junk food, or healthy food, or otherwise until I got paid on Thursday, but I decided to pick up a few things. Today was a very long day at work. I worked until 7:30. Last night was a very poor night of sleep, and by the time I was done tonight, I was shopping hungry and just wanting snacks, wanting a treat. And you know what? I mean, I don't have to make excuses for myself here. I mean, we all are entitled to treat ourselves, and that's what I did here. The 2 bags of snacks over there, there's gummy bears and jelly beans, and the only reason I bought those was, I was looking for a treat, and I'd seen the people buying them coming through my till. I knew they were on sale from $7.99 down to $5.99, and for every 1 bag that you bought, you earned 75 Scene Plus points. That is the primary reason I bought them, is because of the points. So they were $5.99 each before my 10% discount, and I earned 75 points per bag. And then the other day, my daughter brought home some of these 1 liters of pop that were on sale for $1 right now. This sale runs until Wednesday this week, and I am completely out of my caffeine in the house. We have coffee here, but typically our caffeine of choice, my daughter and I, tends to be pop of some sort. And usually I buy the 6 packs of bottles that are the 710 or 750 ml. I forget what size they are. But I'm out, and I meant to buy some on the weekend because usually Shoppers Drug Mart has them on sale on Saturdays and Sundays, but I completely forgot. The weekend got away from me with working all weekend. Completely forgot. So they're not on sale there again until next weekend. And the 6 packs are not on sale at Sobeys right now. So these 1 liters are on sale for $1 a piece. So I grabbed 8 Diet Pepsi, And that'll just have to do until, until I get paid on Thursday. And then I'll allocate a little bit towards getting another stockpile of the 6-packs on the weekend or something, or wherever else they might be on sale next week. Maybe the 6-packs will be on sale at Sobeys next week. I don't know. But for right now, I grabbed 8 of the 1 liter of Diet Pepsi. So here we go. This is what I got. There's the $8 for the Pepsis, and then the gummy bears and the jelly beans, 75 points each. Staff discount was $2. Spent $20.41. So I earned 150 points. My balance going into this was 30,038 Scene Plus points, meaning I am at $300 in Scene Plus points now. So I will be at 30,188 points, probably in the next 24 to 48 hours. Once those points hit my account. And my staff discount runs from Monday to Sunday. So I have used, I have $123.91 left of my weekly cap. It's Monday today, and this runs through Sunday every week. So I don't know that I'll use the rest of my weekly cap. I may or may not. It all depends on what goes on sale on Thursday. But that is it for right now. And honestly, this time, I promise you, the next piece of my grocery haul that you see should be the rest of my bi-weekly grocery haul, the next clip. So stay tuned. All right, today is Friday, September 26th. And so right now I'm going to show you the remainder of my bi-weekly grocery haul. I went out today with a friend of mine. We used to actually work together at a school. She's retired now. She's a few years older than myself, but we still keep in touch, and we get together every couple of months or so. We often go over to the mall and browse around HomeSense, and then we usually go across the street to one of the restaurants over there for lunch. And we usually wind up at Petland, where I can get my rabbit food and parrot food that I need, and usually wind up in Superstore and both of us get our groceries for our families. So that's what we did today. We were in the mall for a little while. And for those of you that know me or know anything about me, I live in Manitoba, Canada, but I actually grew up one province west of here in Saskatchewan. I spent the first almost 24 years of my life there, and I am still to this day very much a Saskatchewan Roughriders fan, which is a CFL team for those of you that are in the States and maybe aren't aware of that. So that is my team, and my husband is a Winnipeg Blue Bombers fan. So we actually stopped in the Bombers store today, which is like enemy territory for me. I actually started browsing around for Christmas ideas for him, the things that a wife will do for her husband, shopping for the other team, right? But I know it's what he likes. And so I was browsing around in there getting ideas. And of all things, they sent us home with Blue Bombers yard signs, free with purchase. So, and then they didn't just send me home with one, they offered me 2. And so I told my friend, well, you guys are Winnipeggers. Why don't you keep one of them for your yard? You keep one, I'll give one to my husband to make him happy, and everybody wins. And she said, well, we could do that, but why don't you keep them both and put them back to back? That way, when people walk by your yard, no matter what angle they're on, they'll see the sign. And I said, oh, that's just fantastic. What a wonderful idea. Not. But that is what ended up happening. I did bring both home. So then we continued on to Superstore, and we both got our groceries. Now, I had a points offer where if you spent $225, it's a continuity spend. So if I didn't buy everything, it didn't have to all be bought in one transaction. It could be bought in multiple transactions, but if you didn't buy it all in one transaction, you have until next Wednesday to finish buying it. So as long as you spent $225 in one or more transactions between yesterday and next Wednesday, you would earn 33,750 points. So $33.75 in points back. So that's pretty good. So she does have a PC Optimum points card, but she said she really isn't all that concerned with the points. She has an old style flip phone, so she doesn't have the ability to have apps to download to check her personalized offers. So she really doesn't care one way or the other. So what we decided to do was we were going to use my points card for both purchases so that I would get my $225 and get those bonus points. And we would each make a payment for our respective purchases. Great. So that was the plan going in. But when we got in the door, there was staff greeting everybody when they got in and telling them debit is down. So you have to pay with credit or cash. And it wasn't just that location of Superstore. It was every Superstore in the city and every No Frills store in the city, which No Frills is owned by the parent company of Loblaws, just like Superstore. Now, I do have a credit card, but I don't have a very high limit on it, and I'm close to my limit. So we ended up putting it through on her credit card, and I took note of what the total was after her purchases and paid her the balance. I withdrew cash on the way home and paid the balance. I could have e-transferred her, but she's not set up for that, so that was fine. But where things got interesting, so because of that, we more than hit the $225 mark. Not a problem. The total for this bill was actually $303.31. But her total was, what was it, $180.63, and mine was $122.68. That was the difference. But interestingly, because the total was $303.31, it was over $300. Typically, when you hit the $300 mark at Superstore, you get a free item. So we earned, or she earned, I guess, a free turkey. So she had to go to the back because customer service didn't have any. So she had to go to the back where the turkeys were and pick one up from there. And she said, how much do these cost roughly? And they said it's about anywhere from $36, $37, $38 roughly, give or take. So she came up front and said to me, she said, you know what? My purchase alone would have been $180. Without adding yours to mine, I would not have hit the $300 because we'd agreed that she would take the turkey. But she said, I wouldn't have spent $300. I was spending $180. I only hit the $300 mark with your help. Just like she helped me get the $225, so I got the bonus points. But because she got the $300 with my help, so to speak, and earned a free turkey as a result, she said, take half the value of the turkey and deduct that from what you owe me. So her total was $180.63. Mine was $122.68. And she said, deduct, if it's a $36 turkey, deduct half, deduct $18 off what you owe me. So 122 minus 18, that brings me down to 104. So I owed her $104. So I withdrew $105 on the way home and paid her that. So out of pocket for me today at Real Canadian Superstore was $105. So now let me turn you around and show you everything that I picked up at Superstore. And I'll give you a breakdown of the points too. Okay, so here are my purchases. I got some no-name brand dill chips. Instead of just buying dill pickles, I brought the chip version of it. I like that they're already sliced. I like to be able to have these on hamburgers or in sandwiches. Those were $3.50. That is a little bit of an increase. They used to be $3.29. I did buy one box of Nutri-Grain bars for myself to have either for breakfast or to take in my work lunches. Those were $3.99. I bought a cherry yogurt for myself. This was, I believe it was $3.99. I'm not a big yogurt person, but I bought this. I've started making smoothies for myself, and so I use a little bit of yogurt and a little bit of my 1% milk along with the fruit that I use. So I bought one yogurt for myself. I bought two packages of trail mix. These were $6 a piece. And then now, considering what I bought the other day was pop and jelly beans, this is the healthy portion of the, mostly healthy portion of the grocery haul. Most of this, as you can see, is all fruit. It's all produce. So this makes up for buying pop and jelly beans the other night. I bought nectarines. This was $9. I bought a 3-count of English cucumbers. That was $2.94. Green grapes, this clamshell, 2 pounds, that was $8. The mini cucumbers, my husband likes these for his work lunches. This was $3.65. They were on special, as were the full-size cucumbers. Unfortunately, this week, the cucumbers were not on my PC Optimum offers. They often are, but they are not this week. But I grabbed them anyway because I know he likes to have those in his lunches. And then over here, this 4-pound bag of mandarin oranges, that was $6. The 2 pounds of strawberries, that was $7.98. Where's my red grapes? The red grapes were $7.45. Grapes sometimes are on my offers too, but they're not right now. 5-pound bag of Macintosh apples, that was $8.28. The tampons are on my offers right now. These were $9.49, so I grabbed 2, $9.49 each. 1 loaf of white bread. This is $2.48. Here's the inflation right here. Just 2 or 3 weeks ago, this no-name brand of white bread was $1.97. It's gone up to $2.48 in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Last time I bought it a week or two ago, it was already up to $2.48 as well. But prior to that, less than a month ago, it was still $1.97, but it had been $1.97 for a long time. Popcorn chicken, $10. This is a 1.13 kilogram bag. I like to keep this on hand in the freezer, make a tray of this up, make a cookie sheet of it up rather, just to have with French fries or to put in my work lunches. And then finally deli meat, and there was a points offer on the deli meat. These were $3.50 each. I got an oven roasted chicken, an oven roasted turkey, a cooked ham, and a smoked turkey kielbasa sausage. $3.50 each. So I earned, obviously, if I got 33,750 points for spending $2.25, well, the total was $303.31. And there's it mentions coupon free item for the turkey, because he didn't have any customer service and they had to send her to the back to the freezer section to show the receipt that she was entitled to that. So that's why that's written on there. So obviously I more than made the $2.25 necessary by combining our purchases. So I earned the 33,750 points, and the tampons 1,600 points, and the deli meat I earned 1,400 points. So today I earned 36,750 points, which is basically $36.75, leaving me with a closing balance of 399,775 PC Optimum points. So I'm at $399 of PC Optimum points. I am 225 points away only. That's it. That's all I need to make $400. Now, mushrooms were on my points offers, and I was going to buy a clamshell of them or a package of those to bring home to have, whether I make a sheet pan meal with farmer's sausage and potatoes and mushrooms like I sometimes do, or whatever, and that probably would have put me over. But either way, I mean, this is a continuity spend thing. I've hit the 225, spend the 225, get the bonus points thing. But with mushrooms being on my regular offers, I could easily go back in sometime before Wednesday and grab some of those. Or I may go to Shoppers Drug Mart this weekend, because they are also owned by the parent company of Loblaws. And quite often, the 6-packs of pop that I like to buy, the slightly smaller bottles than the 1 liters that I bought the other day, those quite often go on sale for a 2-day sale on Saturday and Sunday at Shoppers. And if I do that, I could go in there and buy 3 or 4 of those. They usually go on for about $3.99 and get points on those, and that will put me over the $400 mark too. And if I go into Shoppers, I also have a special offer on my PC Optimum app that says if you make 3 purchases of $20 or more at Shoppers before, I forget the date, but mid-October sometime, then I'll get a bonus, either 3,000 or 500, either 3 or 5,000 extra points or something. Now, I haven't done any of those yet, but if I go in there tomorrow, say, and spend $16 on Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi, and maybe grab a birthday card, there's a few family birthdays coming up, you know, cards aren't cheap, that goes to like $5, $6 a card, that'll put me over $20 and make one of the $20 purchases. And then I just have to make 2 more of those by whatever the date it is sometime in early to mid-October. It's September 26th now, so I have about 2 weeks left to do that. It's really not hard to spend $20, as we all know. I did also pick up a couple of items at Dollarama, and I may just tack that on to the end of this video, and then that will be it for this video. So let me just film that for you quickly, and then we'll wrap this up. All right, so I made a couple other stops this afternoon, and one of them was Petland. I had to pick up a few things for our pets. We have parrots here. You often hear our birds in the background. In fact, my Indian ringneck is squawking a bit in the background right now. It's later in the evening, so it's bedtime for him. I need to get him back in his cage. I bought a box of spray millet. It's normally over $19, but it's on sale right now until the 30th. On sale for $15.58. So I'm going to have to take a look at the budget and see if I can afford to swing back there and maybe get one more box of this. Most of our birds love this. We have several parrots ranging from 2 little budgies right up to an African gray parrot. And of all the birds we have, only one, our Senegal, does not like millet. I don't know why. I think Senegals, most parrots in general, do like it, but our Senegal beau is just, he's a unique bird and he's picky. So, but all the rest of them love it. So while it's on sale, I may go back and grab one more box. I'll just have to make sure there's room in the budget for that, because don't get paid again for 2 more weeks. But this is something they like, and by the time we give everybody some, they'll probably get like 2 feeds out of this. By the time we give everybody some, I could probably do that twice before that box is gone. But I mean, I also have to kind of give that out sparingly too, because it is a treat and it shouldn't be the main staple of their diet. We also have a lion head bunny rabbit named Floyd. And this is his pet food here. These, I I buy his rabbit pellets in bulk. So the millet was $15.58 and his food was $17.91. So just getting him restocked. That's the main staple of his diet outside of Timothy hay. So I spent $37.50 at Petland. And then over to Dollarama. They have a good assortment of Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff. I like to do this for the kids on Halloween. I'm not big on like celebrating Halloween per se, but it's not like I celebrate the origins of it necessarily or anything like that. But one of my jobs is as a lunch supervisor at an elementary school, so I work with children. And plus, even at our house, we get a lot of trick-or-treaters. There's 2 elementary schools within walking distance of our house, and one middle school / junior high school also within walking distance, and at least one high school. And some people even take their kids out in the cars and just drive around looking for neighborhoods that are all lit up or decorated too. So we get quite a few kids. So these treat bags, I bought one package of this design, 2 of this and 2 of that. And I'm going to make up treat bags. I'll probably get chocolate bars or lollipops or some little bags of chips or whatever, and put 2 or 3 items in a bag. And I'm going to make up 100 treat bags, and we save those for Halloween to hand out at the door. So I have 5 packages of 25. That's 125. I'm going to make up 100 treat bags, like I said, and the other 25 I'm going to use for my classroom at school. I probably won't bring food there because I just don't know, it's a case you don't know. Well, obviously the peanut allergy is pretty easy to avoid. You can avoid O. Henry bars and Reese's peanut butter cups, but other allergies and things, it's just not a great idea. So I'll probably steer clear of that. There's little mini, tiny, like miniature sizes of Play-Doh available in the stores, and you can get pencils and erasers that are decorative, or little notepads, or little odds and ends that are just fun things. And that's probably what I'll use those treat bags for, is just for little items to take for my students. Avoid the food stuff and just get some little fun things they can play with instead. So each of those packages were $1.50 each for $1.50 each for 25 per package. And then here are these window clings. I have a Santa window cling that I always put in this upper window right here, but it is weather worn like you wouldn't believe. Like, it's so sun bleached. I mean, I still keep it because it's kind of a tradition, but it's very sun bleached. So I got 2, and I might put the other one in this window. Maybe the gnome one can go there. That window needs a cleaning. I think a lot of that is on the outside, but nonetheless, I'll have to look into that before it gets any colder. That's a side note. But we also have a lot of like light up Christmas ornament type things that go in our living room window. We need to get some new suction cups for those. So I'll have to get a package of those and put a suction cup on each of these 2 items to it before I hang them in the window. But the Santa Claus one just needed to be replaced. I keep hanging on to it. It's a tradition, but it's really sun bleached. So, and of course, one of them just had to be a gnome because I'm all about the gnomes, right? So those were $2.25 each, these guys. So I spent a grand total of $13.44 at Dollarama. So that's it. That is it for this shopping haul. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a comment down below and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for those that have recently subscribed, and those of you that have been with me a long time, that's all of you have helped my tiny little channel grow. And I hope that more of you, if you're watching for the first time, will choose to subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed with your notification bell turned on, because I do not have a set posting schedule. I work 2 jobs. I'm kind of all over the place. So the only way you'll be notified right away when I post something is if you have that notification bell turned on. So make sure you do that if you haven't done so already. I hope everybody's having a great week. It is Friday night now. I work tomorrow, so it's time for me to get ready for bed, throw a little laundry in. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Have a great weekend.